New York City overwhelms almost every first-time visitor, and a handful of things nobody tells you can make or break your trip before you even leave the airport. We are covering 30 real things, from the subway and tipping culture to free skyline views, food mistakes, safety, and the small local habits that instantly mark you as a tourist. Some of these will save you real money, others will save you an entire afternoon of frustration, and a few might change how you plan the whole trip. Save this video before you land, because half of these are the kind of thing you only learn the hard way, standing on the wrong subway platform. The single biggest thing first-timers get wrong is avoiding the subway. In Manhattan traffic, the train is almost always faster than a cab or rideshare, especially on weekdays between 9 and 7. Just tap a contactless bank card or phone directly at the turnstile. There is no need to hunt down a paper Metro card anymore. The system runs on Omni Tap to Pay now. Fares cap automatically too. Once you tap enough rides in a week, the system stops charging you. So frequent riders end up paying for an unlimited pass without buying one. The MTA app and Google Maps both show live train arrival times now, so you can time your walk to the platform instead of standing around waiting on an unpredictable schedule. Express trains skip local stops entirely, marked with a different colored express symbol. Boarding the wrong one can carry you many stops past where you actually meant to get off. Weekend and late-night service changes are common too. Always check the app before you head down, since a line running local instead of express can quietly add 20 minutes to your trip. Uptown means north and downtown means south. But the confusing part is that many stations split those directions onto entrances on opposite sides of the street with no way to cross underground. Check the small sign above the stairs before you go down. It will say uptown or downtown. And if you tap in on the wrong side, you will need to exit and re-enter. Some stations only connect uptown and downtown platforms through a mezzanine, while others genuinely require exiting to street level. The free transfer window is usually around 20 minutes if you tap wrong. Locals also glance at the number or letter on the front of the train before boarding. Not just the color, since two different lines can briefly share the same colored line on a map. Above Houston Street, Manhattan runs on a numbered grid. Avenues run north to south, and streets run east to west. So once you know your cross streets, you can navigate without a map. Fifth Avenue splits the island into east and west address numbering. So a building on East 40th and one on West 40th sit on opposite sides of the same street, blocks apart. Fifth Avenue is 0 for east-west numbering. And Manhattan's diagonal streets like Broadway occasionally break the grid entirely, so a paper map still helps in those older angled neighborhoods. Odd and even numbered streets running east to west are staggered too. So cross-referencing a building's exact address against the nearest avenue saves real walking time on a long block. New Yorkers walk fast and expect you to keep pace, especially in the subway. Stand to the right on escalators and stairways so people in a hurry can pass you on the left. The same rule applies on sidewalks during rush hour. Stopping suddenly to check your phone or take a photo in the middle of a busy sidewalk is the fastest way to annoy a local. Bikes and delivery scooters now move through the same lanes as pedestrians in many spots. So glance both ways even on a sidewalk, not just at intersections before stepping around a corner. City bike docking stations sit on nearly every other block in Manhattan now. A genuinely fast way to cover a mile or two of flat ground without waiting on a train. The Museum of Modern Art offers free entry every Friday evening after 4 o'clock, and several other major institutions run pay-what-you-wish hours if you know when to show up. The American Museum of Natural History and the Whitney both let New York State residents pay what they wish, and lines for these windows form early, so arrive right when they open. The Brooklyn Museum runs a similar pay-what-you-wish policy on first Saturdays, paired with free evening programming. A great low-cost way to spend an evening outside Manhattan. The Met, the city's largest museum, technically suggests a donation for New York State residents, but still allows visitors to pay a reduced amount at the counter if you simply ask. Many hit shows run a digital lottery through their official app. Winners can score front row seats for a fraction of face value, usually announced the same day as the performance. Rush and standing room tickets are sold at the box office the morning of a show for popular titles, and TKTS booths in Times Square and downtown Brooklyn sell same-day discounted seats, too. Standing room tickets for sold-out shows sometimes go on sale the same morning for under $50, a real option for popular titles that otherwise cost hundreds through resale sites. Matinee performances midweek tend to have the most standing room and rush availability, since weekend evening shows sell out fastest among both tourists and locals alike. New York pizza culture runs on the fold. You fold a slice in half lengthwise and eat it walking down the street. Nobody sits down for a quick lunchtime slice here. Dollar slice spots exist and are fine in a pinch, but a proper neighborhood slice joint for $2 or $3 a slice is where the real flavor and crust texture actually is. Late night, after midnight, is when the classic $1 and $2 slice spots really shine. Cheap, fast, and open, when almost nothing else near the subway still is. A classic New York slice uses a thinner, wider cut than a typical mall food court slice, and locals judge a spot by the char on the crust more than the toppings. Order it toasted or not, with a smear of plain or flavored cream cheese, and do not overthink the rest. A classic everything bagel with plain cream cheese never disappoints a first-timer. Asking for it cut in half and toasted moves the line faster during the morning rush, and locals rarely load a bagel with a huge pile of toppings the way delis show in photos. Bagel shops get slammed on weekend mornings, so a weekday visit means a shorter line and a fresher batch straight out of the oven rather than one sitting under a heat lamp. A lox and cream cheese bagel with capers, red onion, and tomato is the classic New York upgrade order if you want the full deli experience rather than a plain schmear. New York City tap water comes from protected upstate reservoirs and is considered some of the best municipal water in the country, so do not waste money on bottled water at restaurants. Most delis and bodegas will happily fill a reusable bottle for free if you ask. And public drinking fountains are common in parks throughout Manhattan and the other boroughs. Filtered tap water refill stations are increasingly common in parks and transit hubs too, part of a citywide push to cut down on single-use plastic bottles near tourist areas. Some rooftop bars and hotel lounges also serve filtered tap water for free on request, a small habit that adds up over a multi-day trip full of walking in the heat. Spring and fall temperatures can swing 20 degrees between morning and afternoon, and wind off the rivers makes it feel colder than the forecast, so layering beats one heavy jacket. Summer humidity is intense and subway platforms can feel like saunas, while winter wind between tall buildings creates a cutting chill. So check the actual forecast, not just the season, before you pack. Keep a compact umbrella or light rain shell in your day bag from spring through fall. Summer storms can roll in with almost no warning and clear again within the hour. Central Park's weather can genuinely differ from a few blocks away downtown. Tree cover and open lawns shift the wind and shade enough to notice on a long walking day. Times Square is worth seeing once for the lights and energy, but restaurants there are priced for tourists and rarely represent the food the city is actually known for. Walk 10 minutes in almost any direction, into Hell's Kitchen or the Garment District, and you will find better food at a fraction of the price with none of the crowds. The actual Broadway Theater District sits just north and west of Times Square itself, so you can see a show and still avoid the worst of the tourist crowd and pricing at dinner. A handful of genuinely good mid-priced restaurants sit just off Times Square in Hell's Kitchen's Restaurant Row on 46th Street, built specifically for a quick pre-theater dinner. Crossing mid-block against the light is technically illegal, but extremely common and rarely enforced against pedestrians. Locals watch traffic flow, not the signal, before stepping off the curb. Still, stay alert for turning cars and cyclists in bike lanes. Distracted tourists staring at their phones while crossing cause most close calls, not the traffic itself. Delivery cyclists move fast and often against traffic in bike lanes, so look both directions even when crossing with the signal. They are the most common thing tourists do not expect. Delivery robots and cargo bikes have also started appearing in bike lanes downtown. One more reason to stay alert rather than assuming a bike lane only carries pedal bikes. Multi-attraction passes bundle entry to the Empire State Building, Top of the Rock, and major museums at a discount, but only pay off if you are visiting 3 or more paid sites in a few days. If your trip is slower paced or focused on free things like parks and neighborhoods, skip the pass entirely, since the math only works for a packed sightseeing itinerary. The Empire State Building and Top of the Rock both sell timed entry slots online. Booking a specific early morning or sunset window avoids the longest walk-up lines entirely. A city pass or similar bundle typically pays for itself around the 3rd or 4th included attraction, so add up individual ticket prices first before deciding it is worth the upfront cost. The Staten Island Ferry runs around the clock and it is completely free, offering close-up views of the Statue of Liberty and the lower Manhattan skyline without paying for a boat tour. Sit or stand on the right side heading towards Staten Island for the best statue views, and just ride it back for a full round trip if you are short on time. The ferry also stops directly at Governor's Island in season, a genuinely quiet, mostly car-free island with bike rentals and skyline picnic spots most tourists never think to visit. The ferry terminal at Whitehall sits a short walk from Battery Park, easy to combine with a stop at Castle Clinton before or after your free round trip across the harbor. The High Line is a free elevated park built on a former freight rail line above the meatpacking district, offering unusual street-level views and green space above the traffic. Go early morning or right before sunset to avoid the heaviest crowds and combine it with a walk through Chelsea Market at the southern end for lunch. The northern spur of the High Line near Hudson Yards connects to the vessel and the shops at Hudson Yards, worth combining if shopping or architecture photos are on your list. Photography permits are not required for casual personal photos anywhere along the High Line, but tripods and larger camera rigs technically need advance permission from the park's conservancy. Central Park covers 840 acres. Trying to see the whole thing in one visit usually means seeing none of it well. Pick one section and actually enjoy it. The southern end near 5th Avenue covers the zoo, the carousel, and Bethesda Terrace, while the reservoir and the ramble to the north feel like true escapes from the city noise. Renting a rowboat on the Central Park Lake or catching a free summer concert on the Great Lawn are both classic ways to spend a slow afternoon without spending much money at all. Strawberry Fields near the West 72nd Street entrance, a quiet memorial to John Lennon, is one of the most photographed yet genuinely peaceful corners of the whole park. Grand Central Terminal serves Metro-North trains to the northern suburbs and Connecticut, while Penn Station serves Amtrak, the Long Island Railroad, and New Jersey Transit. They sit 20 blocks apart. Double-check your ticket before hailing a cab. Showing up at the wrong station with 10 minutes to spare is one of the most common mistakes visiting train travelers make. Both stations connect directly to subway lines, so even if you arrive at the wrong one by mistake, a short train ride usually gets you to the right station within 15 minutes. Both terminals have dedicated ticket windows and information desks staffed by transit employees who can redirect you fast if you realize you are holding the wrong train's ticket. Manhattan hotel prices are genuinely brutal. Booking at least 2 months ahead and staying flexible on exact neighborhood can save a significant amount on a multi-night stay. Consider a base in Long Island City in Queens or downtown Brooklyn. Both sit 1 or 2 subway stops from Manhattan and run noticeably cheaper than midtown hotels. Look at listings for a private room in a well-reviewed guest house too. Several boutique guest houses in Brooklyn and Queens run well below hotel rates with genuinely comfortable, clean rooms. Extended stay and monthly furnished apartment rentals can beat nightly hotel rates for trips of a week or longer, worth comparing before booking a standard multi-night hotel block. Surge pricing during rush hour or right after a big event can triple your fare in minutes, while a subway ride covering the same distance stays a flat rate all day. Save ride shares for late-night trips after the subway thins out, or for hauling luggage to the airport. And always check the price before confirming when demand looks high. Airport transfers are the one case where a pre-booked car service often beats both a yellow cab and a surging ride share, since the flat rate is locked in before you land. Off-peak subway fares to the airport on the air train connection remain the cheapest option by far, roughly a tenth the cost of a ride share during a normal traffic day. Halal carts and hot dog stands are a real part of New York food culture, not a risk to avoid. Look for a cart with a line of local office workers at lunchtime. A chicken and rice platter with white sauce runs around $10 and easily feeds one person. Cash still works everywhere, but most carts now take cards too. Food truck lines move fast even when they look long. Most orders take under 2 minutes. And cash still works everywhere, even as most carts have added card readers too. Many carts post a laminated menu with clear pricing, and pointing at what you want works fine, even with a language barrier. A genuinely welcoming, low-pressure way to order. Popular rooftop bars in Manhattan frequently require an advance reservation, especially on weekends. And many enforce a smart, casual dress code that turns away sneakers or shorts. Book a table online a few days ahead for the well-known spots, or arrive right at opening on a weekday for a better shot at walking in without a reservation. A handful of rooftop bars skip reservations entirely for walk-ins before 6 in the evening. Arriving right at opening remains the most reliable way to get a table without planning ahead. A handful of hotel rooftop bars offer a happy hour window with lower minimums, worth checking their site directly since the pricing is rarely listed on third-party reservation apps. Small comedy clubs like the Comedy Cellar regularly book surprise sets from well-known comedians, and tickets for the best time slots sell out days in advance online. Arrive 15 minutes early even with a reservation. Tables fill on a first-come basis within your booked slot, and most clubs enforce a 1 or 2 drink minimum per person. Several smaller clubs around the East Village and West Village run open mic and showcase nights with no cover charge, a good lower stakes way to catch rising comedians for free. The Comedy Cellar's second stage, the Village Underground, often runs slightly easier to get into on a given night, a solid backup if the main room is fully booked. The financial district is packed with office workers on weekdays, but empties out on weekends and evenings. So many restaurants there close early or shut entirely on Saturday and Sunday. If you are staying downtown for the weekend, plan dinner in nearby Tribeca or the Seaport instead. Both stay lively with restaurants open through the evening year-round. The Oculus Transit Hub and the nearby Westfield Mall stay open on weekends with plenty of dining options. A reliable fallback if your downtown weekend plans need an indoor backup. The Seaport District blends historic tall ships with modern rooftop dining, an underrated combination for an evening that feels distinctly different from the rest of Lower Manhattan. Walking across the Brooklyn Bridge for photos is worth it, but Brooklyn itself deserves a full day. Williamsburg and Dumbo both offer their own food shops and skyline views. Dumbo's cobblestone streets under the bridge offer the classic Manhattan skyline photo spot, while Williamsburg's Bedford Avenue is packed with independent shops, vintage stores, and rooftop bars of its own. The Brooklyn Flea and Smorgasburg Food Market both run seasonally on weekends, combining shopping and some of the best casual food in the city into one easy afternoon outing. Both Williamsburg and Dumbo connect back to Manhattan by ferry as well as subway. The East River ferry ride itself doubles as a scenic, affordable mini-cruise along the waterfront. New York City combines state and local sales tax to just over 8.5%. Added at checkout, so the price on the tag or menu is never the final price. Clothing and footwear items under $110 are actually exempt from that sales tax, a quirk that can meaningfully change the math on a shopping trip. Restaurant menus almost always list prices before tax, and a growing number of spots now add a separate kitchen or health surcharge line worth a quick glance before you order. Some smaller boutiques absorb the sales tax into a rounded final price instead of adding it at checkout, so it is always worth asking if you are unsure at a smaller shop. At any sit-down restaurant, 18 to 20% of the pre-tax bill is the expected tip. Service workers rely on tips as a core part of their income here. Counter service, food carts, and coffee shops usually leave tipping optional on the card reader screen. A couple of dollars is a kind gesture, but genuinely not required at those spots. Delivery apps and takeout in New York almost always add their own service fee on top of a suggested tip. So check the full breakdown before confirming an order from your hotel room. Delivery and takeout tipping in New York generally runs a bit lower than sit-down dining. 10 to 15% is standard and genuinely appreciated by the courier bringing food to your door. Recreational cannabis is legal for adults in New York State, and licensed dispensaries operate openly throughout the city, easily identified by their green license placards in the window. Smoking in most indoor public spaces and many parks is still restricted the same way cigarette smoking is. So check posted rules before lighting up outside your hotel room. Delivery services for cannabis products operate legally too, but as with dispensaries, always check that a shop is licensed. Unlicensed storefronts still operate in parts of the city despite enforcement efforts. Cannabis cannot legally be brought across state lines or through airport security under federal law, even though it is legal to purchase and possess within New York State itself. Manhattan's major tourist areas are genuinely safe at nearly any hour. Crime against visitors is rare in Midtown, the Upper East and West Sides, and most of Brooklyn's popular neighborhoods. Standard city sense still applies late at night. Stick to well-lit streets, keep your phone secured in crowded subway cars, and use a rideshare over an empty late-night subway platform. The NYPD maintains a visible presence in subway stations and major tourist corridors, and most precincts are genuinely happy to give directions or help if you feel turned around. Registering your trip and sharing your hotel address with a travel companion back home costs nothing and remains one of the simplest, most overlooked safety habits for any big city trip. Public restrooms are genuinely scarce on the street, but major bookstores, hotel lobbies, Starbucks locations, and public libraries almost always have one you can use without buying anything. Bryant Park behind the main library maintains one of the cleanest free public restrooms in Midtown, worth remembering if you are out sightseeing for hours without a hotel base nearby. Department store restrooms at flagship locations like Macy's Herald Square are reliably clean and easy to find, worth remembering if you are deep into a shopping day away from your hotel. Coffee shops almost always let non-customers use the restroom without much fuss outside of the busiest morning rush, a good backup option scattered every few blocks across Manhattan. Because conditions shift so quickly between the boroughs and even block to block near the rivers, check the forecast each morning of your trip rather than trusting a forecast from a week out. Rain moves through fast in summer thunderstorms, so a light, packable rain jacket in your bag is more useful for a New York trip than an umbrella you will lose on the subway. Layer with a packable down or fleece jacket for winter trips. Wind chill along the avenues running north to south can feel far colder than the actual temperature on your phone. A light packable poncho takes up almost no space in a day pack and works far better than an umbrella in the wind tunnels that form between Midtown's tallest buildings. That is 30 things I wish I knew before my first trip to New York City. Small details that add up to a much smoother trip in 2026. Which one of these surprised you the most? The subway tricks, the tipping rules, or the free skyline views? Let us know in the comments below. If this guide helped you plan your trip, please like and subscribe for more honest, detailed travel guides from our small channel. Aloha from Kahana Designs, and until next time, safe travels and sweet dreams.